In the vast expanse of human history, amidst the rise and fall of empires and civilizations, a particular school of thought emerged in ancient Greece and Rome that remains strikingly relevant to our modern lives. This philosophy, known as Stoicism, offers profound insights into managing our emotions, reactions, and the establishment of personal boundaries. It is upon this timeless wisdom that we anchor our discussion today, starting with the powerful words of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The essence of Stoicism lies not in emotionless detachment, but in mastering our responses to emotions and recognizing what is within our control and surrendering what is not. In today's fast-paced world, where external pressures and stress are constant companions, the Stoic philosophy serves as a beacon of resilience, offering strategies to foster emotional detachment and build robust personal boundaries. These strategies, distilled from the teachings of Stoic masters, can be transformative, guiding us towards a life of peace, strength, and dignity. Imagine for a moment a life where the turmoil of external events doesn't unsettle your inner peace, where your sense of self-worth isn't at the mercy of others' opinions, and where you navigate the complexities of human relationships with grace and equanimity. This is the promise of Stoicism. Yet, embracing Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or avoiding relationships. It's about cultivating a fortress within from which you can engage with the world in a more grounded, serene, and rational manner. As we delve into the Stoic strategies for emotional detachment and personal boundaries, I invite you to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by your emotions or entangled in relationships that drain your energy? Have you struggled to maintain your composure in the face of adversity or found it challenging to establish healthy boundaries with family, friends, or colleagues? If so, you're not alone. And it's for you that this exploration of Stoicism is intended. This video is more than just a presentation of ideas. It's a call to engage, to reflect, and to share. What aspects of Stoicism resonate with you? Are there principles that you find challenging or contradictory to your own beliefs? I encourage you to share your thoughts, experiences, and questions in the comments below. Let this be a starting point for a journey of self-discovery where we learn from each other and grow together. As we embark on this exploration, remember that Stoicism is not a quick fix or a one-size-fits-all solution. It's a philosophy that requires practice, patience, and perseverance. But the rewards it offers are immense. Emotional freedom, mental strength, and the ability to navigate life's storms with composure and grace. So, if you're ready to explore the ancient wisdom of Stoicism and learn how it can be applied to our modern lives, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights into personal development and emotional resilience. Together, let's embark on this journey towards a more Stoic way of living, where we find strength not from external accolades or achievements, but from the fortress of peace and rationality within us. Section 1. The Wisdom of Stoicism. Stoicism, a school of philosophy that flourished in the Hellenistic and Roman periods, has not only endured through centuries, but has also found a new lease of life in our contemporary era. Its resurgence in popularity is no mere coincidence. It speaks to the timeless nature of its teachings and the universal challenges it addresses. Challenges like dealing with emotional turmoil, setting personal boundaries, and finding tranquility in a tumultuous world. Stoicism was founded in Athens by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BC. It quickly gained followers who were drawn to its practical approach to ethics and its focus on personal virtue as the source of happiness. The Stoics believed that a life lived in accordance with nature and reason was the path to true contentment. They posited that, while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. This foundational belief is at the heart of Stoic philosophy and its relevance to emotional detachment and personal boundaries. The teachings of Stoicism were advanced by several key figures, each contributing their own insights and perspectives to the Stoic corpus. Let's consider some of their most poignant words on emotional detachment and personal boundaries. Marcus Aurelius. As a Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius' reflections, penned in his Meditations, offer a unique perspective on power, responsibility, and the internal struggle for tranquility. If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment about it. And it is in your power to wipe out this judgment now. Seneca. Seneca, a statesman and playwright, provides practical advice on facing adversity and the importance of emotional resilience. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality, he wrote, highlighting the significance of managing our perceptions and reactions to external events. Epictetus. Born a slave, Epictetus' teachings emphasize the freedom that comes from distinguishing between what we can control and what we cannot. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters, he stated, encapsulating the essence of Stoic emotional detachment. As we reflect on these teachings, it's clear that Stoicism doesn't advocate for a life devoid of emotion or connection. Instead, it champions a judicious engagement with our emotions, ensuring they don't overrun our capacity for rational thought and action. This is where the Stoic practice of reflection becomes vital. By examining our thoughts, feelings, and reactions, we learn to discern the difference between our perceptions of events and the events themselves. This distinction is crucial in maintaining emotional detachment and in setting healthy personal boundaries. Section 2. Personal reflections and introspection. The journey into Stoicism is as much an inward exploration as it is a philosophical study. It requires us to turn the lens inward to examine our thoughts, emotions, and reactions. This practice of self-awareness is not an exercise in self-judgment, but in understanding and growth. It allows us to see where our perceptions may color our experiences and how our reactions can either serve our peace or disrupt it. At the heart of Stoicism is the practice of self-awareness. The Stoics believed that by examining our thoughts and emotions, we could identify those that were irrational or harmful and work to change them. This introspection is a powerful tool for personal development, enabling us to recognize our patterns of thought and behavior. It empowers us to detach emotionally from external events and from the grip of unhelpful reactions. Consider the act of reflection as a daily routine, much like Marcus Aurelius, who wrote his Meditations as a form of dialogue with himself. This practice doesn't require hours of meditation. It can be as simple as taking a few moments each day to consider your reactions to the day's events. Ask yourself, were my responses aligned with my values? Did I allow external circumstances to disturb my peace? What can I do differently tomorrow? Introspection allows us to understand our emotional triggers and the roots of our reactions. This understanding is crucial in developing emotional detachment and setting personal boundaries. By knowing what affects us and why, we can better manage our responses and protect our inner peace. To illustrate, let's consider a case study of Alex, a project manager who often found himself overwhelmed by the pressures of work and the demands of his team. Despite his best efforts, Alex struggled to maintain a sense of calm, frequently reacting to stress with frustration and anger. This not only affected his well-being, but also his relationships with his colleagues. Upon exploring Stoic principles, Alex began to practice daily reflection, examining his reactions and the thoughts behind them. He realized that his stress was not solely due to the workload, but to his perception of needing to solve every problem alone. By acknowledging this, Alex started to delegate more effectively, communicate his needs, and set clearer boundaries with his team. This shift didn't just reduce his stress. It also improved his team's dynamics and productivity. This process of introspection and reflection is not solitary. It invites us to engage with others, sharing our journey and learning from their experiences. As you reflect on your own patterns and behaviors, consider discussing them with trusted friends or family members. These conversations can provide additional perspectives and support as you navigate your path towards emotional detachment and healthier personal boundaries. Now, dear viewers, I invite you to engage in a moment of reflection. Think about a recent situation where you felt overwhelmed or reacted strongly. What were the thoughts and beliefs that drove your reaction? How could a Stoic approach of detachment and reflection help you respond differently in the future? Stoicism, with its rich history and profound philosophical teachings, often employs storytelling and metaphors to bridge the gap between abstract concepts and tangible understanding. This tradition not only makes Stoic wisdom more accessible, but also more relatable, allowing us to see the principles of Stoicism reflected in the natural world, in historical narratives, and in our everyday lives. One of the most effective ways Stoicism teaches us about emotional detachment and personal boundaries is through stories. These narratives, whether drawn from history, mythology, or the lives of the Stoic philosophers themselves, serve as powerful illustrations of Stoic principles in action. Consider the story of Cato the Younger, a figure admired by Stoics for his unwavering commitment to virtue and his refusal to compromise his principles, even in the face of immense pressure from Julius Caesar. Cato's life is a testament to the Stoic belief in the importance of living according to one's values, regardless of external circumstances. His story teaches us about the strength that comes from emotional detachment, not as a means of avoidance, but as a way to maintain personal integrity and autonomy. The Stoics also frequently drew upon metaphors from nature and the cosmos to explain their teachings, grounding their philosophical insights in the observable world. For example, the metaphor of the dog tied to a moving cart is used by Epictetus to illustrate the concept of aligning our will with what is within our control and accepting what is not. The dog can either resist the pull of the cart and be dragged painfully along, or it can trot happily beside it, accepting the direction of the cart while maintaining its composure. This metaphor beautifully encapsulates the Stoic approach to life's challenges, encouraging us to focus on our responses and attitudes rather than futilely resisting the inevitable. To bring these concepts closer to home, let's consider a modern metaphor. Imagine you're in a boat on a vast lake with your destination on the far shore. The wind, waves, and current represent external events and the emotions they evoke. While you can't control these external forces, you do have control over the boat's rudder, your reactions, and decisions. By steering wisely and adjusting your sails, you can navigate through the turbulence, maintaining your course and composure. This metaphor serves as a reminder of our capacity to navigate life's challenges by focusing on what is within our control. Through stories and metaphors, Stoicism teaches us that emotional detachment is not about disengagement from life, but about engaging with it more wisely, with a clear understanding of our boundaries and a focus on what truly matters. These narratives and images help us visualize and internalize Stoic principles, making them more than just philosophical concepts, but practical tools for living. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Can you think of a metaphor or story from your own life that illustrates a Stoic principle? How has this perspective helped you maintain emotional detachment and establish personal boundaries? The Stoic journey is as much about asking the right questions as it is about finding answers. Questions serve as the catalyst for introspection, guiding us through the complexities of our thoughts and emotions, and leading us towards greater understanding and wisdom. In the tradition of Socratic dialogue, Stoicism encourages us to question our assumptions, beliefs, and reactions, challenging us to reevaluate our perspectives and align them more closely with Stoic principles. Self-questioning is a fundamental aspect of Stoic practice. It involves regularly examining our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors to understand their origins and assess their rationality. This practice can reveal deep-seated beliefs, and assumptions that shape our reactions to external events, helping us to detach emotionally from things outside our control and establish healthier personal boundaries. For instance, when faced with a stressful situation at work or in personal relationships, instead of immediately reacting, we might pause and ask ourselves, "Is this within my control? Will my reaction change the outcome, or will it only serve to increase my distress? Can I view this situation from a different, more constructive perspective?" These questions can help us step back, assess the situation more objectively, and choose a response that aligns with our values and objectives. Questions that stimulate reflection and growth. Stoicism teaches us that the quality of our lives is determined not by our external circumstances, but by our internal responses to those circumstances. To cultivate this Stoic mindset, we can use questions that encourage reflection and personal growth. For example, what is truly important in this situation and what is trivial? How can I use this challenge as an opportunity to grow and learn? What would a wise person do in this situation? These questions prompt us to look beyond the immediate emotional reaction and consider the bigger picture, focusing on what is truly within our power to change or influence. Questions as a means to deepen understanding and connection. While Stoicism places great emphasis on individual practice and self-reliance, it also recognizes the importance of our connections with others. By engaging in thoughtful questioning with those around us, we can deepen our understanding of Stoic principles and how they apply in different life contexts. This can be particularly valuable in discussions about emotional detachment and personal boundaries, as these are areas where perspectives can vary widely. In conversations with friends, family, or colleagues, consider posing questions like, how do you determine what is within your control and what isn't? How do you maintain your composure in the face of adversity? Such questions can open up rich avenues for discussion, allowing for the exchange of ideas and experiences that can enrich our understanding and practice of Stoicism. Now, as we continue our exploration of Stoicism, I invite you to reflect on the role of questions in your own journey. What questions have prompted you to think more deeply about your emotions, reactions, and the boundaries you set? How have these reflections influenced your approach to challenges and relationships? Section 5. Case Studies in Modern Life. The timeless wisdom of Stoicism is not just a philosophical ideal. It's a practical toolkit for navigating the complexities of modern life. By examining real-world applications of Stoic strategies, we can see how these ancient principles offer guidance on emotional detachment and establishing healthy personal boundaries. Let's delve into a few case studies that illustrate Stoicism in action today. Overcoming workplace stress. Consider the case of Maya, a software developer in a fast-paced tech company. Maya often found herself overwhelmed by tight deadlines and the high expectations of her team. Initially, she reacted to this pressure with anxiety and frustration, which only exacerbated her stress levels and impacted her productivity. After being introduced to Stoicism, Maya began to apply its principles to her work life. She started by distinguishing between what was within her control, her focus, effort, and attitude, and what was not, namely the project deadlines and her colleagues' demands. This shift in perspective allowed her to detach emotionally from the stressors that she couldn't influence, reducing her anxiety. Maya also implemented the Stoic practice of morning reflections, preparing herself each day for the challenges ahead and reminding herself of her capacity to choose her responses. This practice helped her establish personal boundaries, ensuring that her work stress did not overwhelm her personal life. As a result, Maya found herself more composed, productive, and satisfied with her work, demonstrating the power of Stoicism in managing workplace stress. Another case study involves Liam, who struggled with setting boundaries in his personal relationships. He often found himself saying yes to requests and commitments that he didn't truly want to fulfill, leading to resentment and exhaustion. Stoicism offered Liam a framework for reevaluating his approach to these relationships. By reflecting on Stoic teachings about the importance of living according to one's own values and focusing on what is within one's control, Liam began to understand the significance of asserting his own needs and limits. He learned that saying no was not an act of selfishness, but a necessary practice for maintaining his well-being and integrity. Liam started to practice assertive communication, expressing his boundaries respectfully and clearly without allowing guilt or the fear of disappointing others to sway his decisions. This new approach not only improved his mental health and energy levels but also led to healthier, more respectful relationships. Liam's experience underscores how Stoicism can empower individuals to navigate personal relationships with greater confidence and self-respect. Building resilience in the face of adversity. The final case study focuses on Zoe, who faced a significant personal setback when she was diagnosed with a chronic illness. Initially, Zoe was consumed by anger and despair, feeling that her plans and dreams were derailed by circumstances beyond her control. As Zoe explored Stoicism, she was drawn to its teachings on accepting what cannot be changed and focusing on how to respond constructively. She began to practice gratitude, focusing on the aspects of her life that remained positive and within her control, such as her hobbies, her support network, and her ability to inspire others facing similar challenges. Zoe also found solace in the Stoic concept of amor fati, or love of fate, embracing her situation not as a misfortune, but as a part of her unique life path. This shift in mindset transformed Zoe's approach to her illness, helping her build resilience and a sense of peace despite the challenges she faced. These case studies illustrate the practical application of Stoic principles in modern life, demonstrating how emotional detachment and personal boundaries, guided by Stoicism, can lead to greater resilience, fulfillment, and peace. Section 6. Cultural wisdom and historical insights. The profound insights of Stoicism, while originating in ancient Greece and Rome, echo the teachings and practices found in cultures and philosophies around the world. This global tapestry of wisdom offers a diverse perspective on managing emotions, setting boundaries, and living a fulfilled life. By drawing parallels and learning from these varied sources of wisdom, we deepen our understanding and appreciation of the universal struggles and triumphs of the human condition. A notable parallel can be drawn between Stoicism and Eastern philosophies such as Buddhism and Taoism. Both traditions emphasize living in harmony with the natural world and accepting the impermanence of life. Like Stoicism, Buddhism teaches the importance of detachment, not as a means of disengagement, but as a way to reduce suffering and cultivate a peaceful mind. The Buddhist practice of mindfulness, for instance, mirrors the Stoic practice of reflection, encouraging a deep awareness of one's thoughts, feelings, and reactions in the present moment. Taoism, with its principle of Wu Wei, or effortless action, shares Stoicism's value of aligning with the flow of life rather than resisting it. This concept encourages individuals to act in accordance with their true nature and the nature of the world, promoting a state of peace and balance that resonates with the Stoic ideal of living according to reason and virtue. Throughout history, many individuals have embodied Stoic principles, whether consciously following the philosophy or simply living in a manner consistent with its teachings. One such figure is Nelson Mandela, whose resilience and forgiveness after years of imprisonment exemplify the Stoic virtues of courage, justice, and self-control. Mandela's ability to forgive those who wronged him and to focus on reconciliation rather than revenge demonstrates the power of Stoic emotional detachment and the strength that comes from adhering to one's principles. Another historical figure who exemplifies Stoic virtues is Helen Keller, who overcame significant barriers due to her blindness and deafness. Her unwavering optimism, determination, and ability to find joy and meaning in life despite her challenges, reflect the Stoic belief in focusing on what is within one's control and making the most of one's circumstances. The enduring appeal of Stoic wisdom lies in its practicality and its applicability to the human experience across cultures and epochs. By exploring the similarities between Stoicism and other cultural and philosophical traditions, we gain a richer understanding of the universal challenges we face as humans and the diverse strategies we can employ to overcome them. As we reflect on the insights shared by Stoic philosophers, historical figures, and wisdom from around the world, we are reminded that the pursuit of virtue, tranquility, and resilience is a common thread that binds humanity. This exploration encourages us to adopt a more open-minded and inclusive approach to personal development, recognizing the value of diverse perspectives in our journey towards emotional detachment and stronger personal boundaries. Now, I encourage you to explore wisdom from other cultures and philosophies. What teachings resonate with you? How can you incorporate these diverse insights into your practice of Stoicism and your quest for a more balanced and fulfilling life? Section 7. Call to Action and Conclusion. As we draw this exploration of Stoicism to a close, it's essential to reflect on the journey we've undertaken together. Through the wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers, the personal reflections and case studies shared, and the insights gleaned from other cultures and historical figures, we've discovered a rich tapestry of guidance for navigating the complexities of modern life. We began by setting the stage with the enduring wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, reminding ourselves of the power we hold over our minds and reactions despite the external chaos. We delved into the importance of self-awareness and introspection, understanding that true strength comes from within, from our ability to manage our emotions and reactions thoughtfully. Through storytelling and metaphors, we saw how Stoic principles could be illustrated in both ancient tales and modern metaphors, making complex ideas more accessible and relatable. We engaged with questions, both asking ourselves and encouraging dialogue with others to deepen our understanding and practice of Stoicism. The case studies provided real-world examples of Stoicism in action, showing us how these ancient strategies are still relevant and effective in overcoming challenges, from workplace stress to personal relationships, and in building resilience in the face of adversity. And, by drawing parallels with other cultural and philosophical traditions, we recognize the universal appeal of Stoic wisdom, finding common ground in the pursuit of virtue, tranquility, and resilience. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Stoicism, with its focus on virtue, rationality, and emotional detachment, offers a path to ensure those thoughts are constructive, empowering, and aligned with our true nature. I encourage you to take these teachings and insights and weave them into the fabric of your daily life. Experiment, reflect, and adjust as you go, remembering that the journey of personal development is ongoing, filled with both challenges and triumphs. And so, dear viewers, I thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoicism. May you find strength in its wisdom, peace in its practices, and joy in the journey ahead. Don't forget to share your thoughts, experiences, and questions in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe for more insights into living a more balanced and fulfilling life.